Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Let's get crafting.
Our project we're going to be working on is creating a cute little corner shelf for your kitchen counter or anywhere in like a hutch that you might have. So I have these two signs that I picked up recently actually from the Dollar Tree. I felt ready to get out. I needed to go out for a grocery run, and while I was out I popped into the Dollar Tree and I was really proud of my community. Everyone I saw, I will say 95% that I saw had on face masks and gloves, and I only touched what I needed, and it just felt like such a treat to get out and amongst my community for a little bit of time, and it was just a nice treat, friends. I can't say it enough. Now, I will not recommend anyone going out that does not feel comfortable, but I went out just for a little treat. So here I am. You can see that I've created with these round signs these two lines, these two cut lines, because we're trying to make, like I said, a corner shelf, and you're going to score those lines twice, and then you're going to snap it one way and snap it back the other way. And that is because these break really easy, and they are so great once you score them. You can create any shape that you would want off of the existing shape, and then any hangover that you see, just go ahead and cut that off with your scissors. Now I'm going to be taking the one that I cut first, and I'm going to lay pattern side to pattern side, trace it, and cut out a second one. And that's because we want to make a nice sturdy shelf. So having two of these is a really great thing to be able to make it even stronger. So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out the legs for our little corner shelf. Now you can see that 2 inches is too wide or too tall, and 1 is too short and stubby. So I'm going to go with a 1.5 inch mark, and I'm going to do that 3 times. Now make sure you measure with the idea of cutting off that rounded edge on your plumber stick, because that is rounded and you don't want that to be on one of them because it'll make it where it's a crooked shelf. So I cut off that little nub on the end that's curved, and then I cut 3 little legs, as you can see here. And then you're going to just take some hot glue, and on the bottom side of your sign you're going to add a nice amount and just kind of wiggle it around so the glue comes out around the sides and kind of presses up onto the leg. That's going to create even more support on it. Then to make it even stronger, you're going to take your staple gun, and I'm going to link that down below because everyone always asks me about it, and I try to link it every time. Sometimes I forget, but I'm going to link the staple gun down below, and you can see here that I'm putting 2 staples on each leg, and when you flip it over you should not have gone through the sign, it should go through the leg. So just make sure you measure that carefully. And then that second sign we're going to put some hot glue and put it down pattern to pattern so that we don't have to deal with trying to paint over glitter and having all that extra texture. And then we're just going to just smush them together, line them all up, and once everything is nice and glued together, you can see here that it looks just like a corner shelf. And then we're going to change out our staple size to being a little bit smaller to only be able to be long enough to go through those 2 signs that we just cut down, and then staple them together. Then I painted it white and came back in with some distressing light gray with a dry brush technique, and then a little bit of brown just to give it some depth and some texture on my counter. Today is a Friend Friday hop, and I am teaming up with these talented ladies. Now, if you've never done a hop before, it's really simple. There's a link down below in my description box that will take you to one of their channels, and they will repeat the process onto the next channel to the next channel until you've hopped all the way around and you are super inspired by everyone. If you're new coming over from the hop, my name is Heidi Sonboul, and this is my DIY channel. I post on here several times throughout the week. This week my theme has been kitchen themed, and I've been doing a lot of DIYs for your kitchen and just helping you get inspired to organize your space. And if you didn't know, I have a Heidi Sonboul Home Channel where I post about home decor, cleaning, and just day-to-day life motivation. Our next project is going to be using these chalkboard signs, and this is mainly because I have been wanting to use these for quite some time. I'm using these tongue depressor thicker popsicle sticks, and we're going to also be needing a foam core board. from the Dollar Tree. Now, I actually had someone this last week and a couple times before ask me why I keep calling it a foam core board, and I'll tell you all why it's called that. If you actually look it up online, you Google it, you'll find that it's actually called foam core board because they take two poster boards and the root core of this board is foam core board. So the core of it is foam, and that's why it's called foam core board. I'm like an old school nerd art lover, and I've been using this stuff since I was a teenager when it first was really popular and kids would use it for high school projects. And anyway, that's why it's called that. So you can see there that I laid out all my popsicle sticks and my signs because we want to create that spacing in between. A lot of people that make these chalkboard big signs, the problem with them is that they butt the chalkboards up next to each other and you lose a lot of that valuable real estate to use for your chalkboard sign, and then they become really small. So I'm taking a board, I measured everything out just like you saw me do, and now I'm cutting all of the popsicle sticks down to size that had any hangover, and I'm using E6000 and hot glue on the chalkboard so they really stay on there strong, and then I'm using just regular hot glue for the popsicle sticks, and that spacing in between is going to allow you to be able to have not too deep of a space in between the chalkboard so that the tongue depressor sticks don't stick, that they don't bond well. This is going to create a little bit of a lift in between there so that the popsicle sticks can bond to each other but not eat up that real estate space of your chalkboard. I really thought hard and long about this project because I've been seeing that mistake happening a lot with other inspiration online, we'll say, and this is going to allow you to be able to have your chalkboard sign be bigger when you're writing on them. So here I am, I'm just finishing the last three. We're doing 9 spaces so that it looks symmetrical, and I'm just putting on, like I said, a nice little goop of this E6000, and it's so funny. I was on the very end, but I'm so determined to be thrifty with my craft supplies that I was like squeezing out the very last of this E6000 to make sure that I got all my money's worth. And then I'm just going to flip it over and nestle it down into where those popsicle sticks were lined up for me. And this is really great too because this is going to help you, these popsicle sticks in between, it'll create that perfect spacing that you need so that you don't have anything be crooked or wonky, and it just spaces it out really nicely. So here I am at the very last of this E6000, and I truly am trying to get my money's worth. I actually had a new tube when I went out. While I picked up, you know, some of these new supplies, I picked some up from Walmart. That's typically where I get my E6000 from, and it's a really good deal there. I think it's like $4.50. I could be wrong. It could be like $4.95, whatever their, you know, dollar cents amount is that they typically mark at Walmart. But so here I am, I'm putting on the very last one and just squeezing out the last of that money's worth, and then I am going to finally be able to throw this tube away and move on to a new one. So I'm going to put in my last one and then frame it out with those popsicle sticks just like I showed you, because again, like I said, we want to be able to create that support underneath that's going to hold on the thicker sticks and not lose that real estate space on your chalkboard. So once you've got those last ones all glued in place, you're then going to take your thicker sticks and you're going to chop off the rounded edges just like you were seeing me do here and there on the board. And we're doing that so that these all butt up to each other really nicely, and it makes it look like a really pretty frame. So do as many as you're going to need to go all the way around the board. I would even just say just cut a whole bunch and then go back if you need more. But you're going to just line them all along the edges. Anywhere where you have those smaller, thinner popsicle sticks showing, you're going to glue them onto place. And do you see what I'm saying? Like, look at how little we're going to be taking up having to glue onto those chalkboards. And the best thing about this too is that this is going to really lock in those chalkboards so they never will pop off, and you know, just fall apart on you if you drop it on accident, because let's get real, like this is, you know, glue that we're putting this together with. I try really hard to make my things look super strong and sturdy, and so one of the other things I like to do is with these popsicle sticks, if you see any of those little cracks or seams in between, just add in some of that spackle putty that you can get at the Dollar Tree as well. Now here's the thing, we could paint this white, and I typically would do a white paint coat on it, but I just was feeling kind of frumpy this day and I needed some color in my life. And so I decided to go with this pretty green, and I really love the way that it turned out. Now you can paint this whatever color you want. How cute could this be if your kitchen is a red theme or a teal theme? And you can really just customize this board however you would want. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these chains from the Dollar Tree. You guys have been seeing me use this. You all have been seeing me use this here on my channel. I kept saying, hold on to the extra chains, don't get rid of them. And this is why, because you can take these extra chains and use them to hang up signs that need a little bit more sturdy support than just a rope. So you can see here that I drilled 2 holes in the top, and then I'm just chaining on this chain, and these typically are used to hang up pots, and they're in the garden section at the Dollar Tree. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just take it a little bit further. You don't have to do this. I thought this would be really pretty at the bottom. I have a whole bunch of this buffalo check gray ribbon, and I bought this back at Christmas time. Bought it for a crazy good deal where it was like 80% off. So I bought a whole bunch of it. But if you have some ribbon, it would be really pretty just to put it down at the bottom, and it fits perfectly between the popsicle sticks and that board. So you're just going to add some glue and then just pop that right down in there. And how cute, this little added detail. It almost makes it look like a little kitchen window curtain drape. I don't know, I really liked it. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to distress my green a little bit just to make it look more farmhouse, or like it came from an old schoolhouse. I just thought that would be so cute. And I'm going to use my ruler and trace out the word Sunday, because I wanted to hand paint on all the days of the week. Now I'm going to be using this for a menu board or for, you know, a grocery shopping list in my kitchen. I just think it's so cute. So once you've got all of your week's names painted on, you're ready to hang it up. If you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And if you didn't know, I host a monthly challenge. It's coming this next Friday, May 8th. These are the rules to play along. I hope you do. I welcome all new YouTube channels and those oldies and goodies friends that want to play along. This theme is a free theme. Make whatever DIYs you want and follow the rules. Our next DIY is something that I've kind of featured here before. I have taken these hanging wired baskets for your outside garden area, and these are from the Dollar Tree. And I've shown me making bird cages out of them and little fruit baskets. And today, going along with that kitchen theme, we're going to be making a potato basket, because why not? Why not make even our potatoes look pretty in our kitchen? So what I'm doing is I'm cutting away that inner circle with my wire cutters, and I'm just going back and forth, and they snap pretty easily. I would say like the first 6 are really easy to cut, and then towards the end your hand is going to start feeling a little sore, so maybe take a break in between if your hand starts to hurt. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take, we're only going to be cutting one apart, as you can see me doing here. The other one we're going to leave it alone. But we're going to be taking those wires and we're going to start bending them back. And no matter how many times I try, you're going to see that wire pop right there, just because it's kind of a sensitive area. So I'll show you in just a second how to fix that. But we're going to go ahead and straighten out those wires so that they're nice and long. And this is the cutest basket when we're done. You don't have to only put potatoes in it. You can put whatever you want in it realistically. But I just thought, oh, how cute could it be to put this inside of my pantry with potatoes in it in a corner so that they stay nice and dark and safe, and they're out of that funky bag that, you know, drops stuff anyways. So I just thought this would be so cute. So here I am, I'm just straightening out the last of them. And then to fix that problem, you're just going to take a piece of twine and you're going to add a little bit of hot glue right on the tip of it. And surprisingly, this holds really well. And then you're going to take the twine once the hot glue sets, and you're just going to wrap it around there. And the reason why this is going to end up being okay is because later on you'll see you're going to add on some thicker rope onto the edge, and we're also going to be putting chicken wire all over this basket. So just wrap it around, glue it into place, and then forget about it temporarily because we don't need to worry about that at this moment, and just let it really dry really well. So you can see here that I'm just adding a nice amount of twine to make it nice and strong, and I'm just going to glue that right into place. So once you've got that all glued into place, snip off any extra that you don't need, and then we're going to start assembling the two pieces together. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get your pliers, and you're just right at the top, you're going to curve it down to create a little hook, and you're going to go all the way around the whole basket piece, all of these wires that we straightened out, and we're going to just curve them all down just like I'm doing here. And this is because we're going to be hooking it onto the one over there to the left. That way it creates a nice tall basket, because at this point you really can't put potatoes in that smaller basket with the height that it is. And so here I am, I'm just curving it all down, and then I'm going to take it, and you can see the hooks, I'm going to take it and just hook it onto that other basket. The coolest thing about this is that these potato baskets are so crazy expensive, and once you put the chicken wire on it with the rope, it's really sturdy and strong and can hold all of the potatoes that you put inside of it. And we're only making it for, let's say, $4 because we put the chicken wire on it. So $2 for each basket, $1 for the rope, and then $1 for chicken wire. I mean, it's crazy how much they charge for these baskets, and when you figure out, wow, it's like nothing that they're using for materials. So here I am. I lost the footage of me putting the chicken wire on the two stacks, but this is one that I had done a couple weeks ago. And now here's the basket with all the chicken wire on it. You can see that I went all up the sides, and it's really easy. Just be safe when you're putting it on, and make sure you take your time. And if you have any spots that are concerned, you can always add a little bit of hot glue if you had a hard time getting the wire down, and that seals it in. And then you're going to take it outside, and you're going to spray paint it whatever color you want. I went with black. I think that it looks really pretty and very country farmhouse looking at this point. And now I'm going to take that rope that we talked about and just finish off the top look. And you're going to glue it into place and just keep wrapping it around until it's all done. And then to make it even cuter, I'm going to take some of the thicker rope, and I'm going to just add some handles by looping it through and gluing over that edge, and then taking one piece of the rope. I split it up from the Dollar Tree. There's 3 on one of the ropes, so I just split it up, and then I'm wrapping that around to give it a nice finished look on the handle, so that way when you pick it up it's nice and sturdy, and this basket is really strong. I hope you enjoyed today's DIYs. Remember, don't forget to hop along to the next girl in the Friend Friday hop. Let them all know that I sent you over, and send them some love. Leave a comment down below to let me know which one is your favorite.
And until the next episode, bye friends.